One of your perfect scores.
It's a 9 for me. A strong 9. It's one of my favorite albums of the 90s.
I see Heaven or Las Vegas everywhere, but I have never actually listened to it until today.
And I am delighted.
I know everyone fucking loves this album, so I'm hoping I do too. Simple as. Okay, this is gonna be my first time reacting to Heaven or Las Vegas. Or actually listening, rather. Sure, this is actually... technically both, but I've never listened to Cocteau Twins before. I've never listened to Heaven or Las Vegas. Like, I've heard about this album. Like, I've known about it for years, never actually got around to listening to it until now. So I'm very excited to hear this one, because I'm expecting nothing but perfect things.
Perfect things, hopefully. But yeah, obviously, to be transparent, I have heard this album a lot. I love this album. This is me recommending this album to Mick and Mick's first reaction. I'm here, along for the ride.
Maybe the real Las Vegas was the friends we made along the way.
What does that mean?
Don't fucking ask me. Okay, first track is Cherry Colored Funk. Okay, already that tone is incredible.
Try to catch some of the lyrics, Mick.
Okay. I'm not gonna pick up any lyrics, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I will say though, the tone and the atmosphere is pretty incredible. I love the way the vocals just blend in with everything.
Well. Track 1.
Alright. That was track 1. Very fucking good, might I say. I really love that. I get the sense though, just from that like opening track alone, that this album is probably one that you need to hear a couple of times over. I think anyway. Because like, it's not as immediate, but it does soak you in, I think. And I feel like just because of the way it kind of builds itself, that it would definitely need to take a bit more time for you to like fully love it. Because don't get me wrong, I really loved that song generally, but I think the expectations for the album it's giving me is that like it's definitely one to go back to over time anyway. But even then, you know,
from my experiences, I fell in love with it on first listen. And my first listen to the album was probably the most magical. But that's, I think, the atmosphere. In terms of the atmosphere, it immediately, I fell in love with it. But yeah, it is an album that is far more layered than sometimes the ethereal and like almost ambient atmospheres can suggest. And it is one that I have found new details about with consecutive listens. So I do see what you mean. For me, I was immediately hammered. So,
well, I mean, I was gonna guess that with you anyway, like knowing your taste.
I'll let you in on the joke. Like, the lyrics.
The whole joke
here,
is that you don't know the lyrics, right?
The lyrics here are like, I want to say 90% nonsense. There's some of it's English, some of it's not even English, some of it's just whatever. It's all up to interpretation.
So all the lyrics are just gibberish.
No, there's definitely a lot of words.
There's definitely words. There's definitely words.
There's plenty of clear sentences as well, but then there's also some just words.
Gibberish.
Yeah.
You know, the dream pop guitar tones, like from like the 80s and 90s, they're always just incredible anyway. And I especially loved that tone. Loved the way I love the groove of the instrumental. I loved how the vocals kind of blended in with the atmosphere as well, and generally it just sounds amazing. So, yeah, Cherry Colored Funk is pretty fucking great.
Song rating? Song rating?
Strongest of 8s that I can give.
I agree. I love this album. I think there are better tracks on it, even though this is one of the big ones.
Pitch the baby in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, I really like that bass line. I love the way the instrumental pops more in this one.
Vocal mixing is just so alien.
It is. I love how the synths and the guitars are kind of just swirling in the mix as well, kind of in unison.
I don't know if anyone else will hear this, but the vocal kind of delivery here always kind of reminded me of Kate Bush. Like, maybe the Dreaming era. She was doing whatever she wanted.
I don't hear it.
I've always heard that.
So that's the Kate Bush stand in your brain going off.
I see Kate Bush where there is no Kate Bush.
The bush isn't real.
Bush is but an illusion.
You're being deceived. Yeah, I really like that track.
I love that track.
Okay, I like how it bounces more a bit with the instrumental, especially with like the bass groove and the drums. But like, it's also keeping with that same kind of swirliness, the kind of tone that's being delivered on the synths and the guitars. I just appreciate that it pops more with those drums specifically. And you mentioned the Kate Bush thing. This is going to sound even weirder, but the drums and the bass line and the way it's kind of very atmospheric kind of reminds me of what some trip hop artists will be doing like later on in the decade.
Yeah.
Kinda.
The essence is there.
The essence is there, like, that's what I think anyway. It's obviously not directly proto, but the essence is there, I think.
Yeah. And I also agree with Connor just there. I prefer this one to Cherry Colored Funk, which is a bold opinion.
I actually kind of like this more than Cherry Colored Funk, I won't even lie. But like they're both brilliant. But like I think I like this one because it's more groovy and it kind of pops more. But like still keeping with that same kind of swirliness, that same kind of atmosphere. I really like it. Again, the tone is brilliant. I really love the tone.
Score?
9.
Light 9. Let's go.
Perfect. All right, Iceblink Luck is the next track.
This part was always felt very Cure-like to me.
Okay, definitely. Now that you say that, I can kind of hear it. Haven't gotten a sentence just yet.
That's a losing battle, Nick. Trying to analyze the lyrics here.
It's like Disintegration era Cure vibes.
Released a year later, so it's.
I know, that's crazy.
It's definitely an influence. The Cure is on this, to be frank. I think that it would work the other way around. This is released in 90s.
Yeah, I'm loving how present the bass is, of course.
Another aspect that's definitely taken from the Cure.
Very good.
I adore that track as well.
Very good. Very blatantly a pop song. very blatantly a pop
no.
song.
It's a pop album.
Yeah, I know, but like so far, this has been the most blatantly like pop song out of the batch that we've heard so far. Like, but I think we've already drawn our comparisons to The Cure, like, but like obviously I think the Cocteau Twins kind of make it their own, of course, with that, which is how like layered it is and the effects and how just I just suppose how the vocals intertwine as well, but I really like that. I just love how present the bass was on that track as well. Just everything about that song, like it's just a pure pop song. It's a really enjoyable one at that, and I thought it was pretty good.
I love it. I absolutely love that track again.
Of course you love it.
Score?
That one's an 8 for me.
Light 9 again.
Of course. Okay, next track is 50/50 Clown. Oh!
There's a lot of people who'd agree with you there.
Well, we'll see how I'm feeling by the end.
I think both are incredible.
Koner, I might have to throw hands.
You're weirdest. Imagine a fist fight over whether Souvlaki or Heaven or Las Vegas is better.
Worst fight of all time. The style of vocal definitely stays in its own lane.
I love how every instrument is and the vocals are like very individual in the mix. Like they're all very distinct in the mix, but like somehow they all just get washed together in my brain into this like cloud of atmosphere.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I feel like the guitars and the synths definitely intertwine the most, but like you can definitely hear the individual aspects kind of climbing into your brain as one.
And it always struck me just like how prominent the vocals are in the mix, yet they still feel so like dreamy and washed out at the same time.
Okay, that was 50/50 Clown. Pretty good track all in all. But like so far, I think it's probably my least favorite so far out of the 4 that we've heard. Like
yeah, I agree. It's
yeah,
not
like
saying
it's.
much.
I mean, like it's kind of I feel like that track is kind of sitting in its own lane in the track list. I suppose, kind of like it's not trying to stick out as much, but it's still just there to kind of soak you in, pretty much. And I just going back to what you were saying about how like the instrumentation kind of feels like the way it's mixed. It just kind of feels like individual in a sense, but in your brain it just kind of melts together in unison. I think that's a pretty interesting takeaway from it because that's generally what it's doing. And yeah, it's not my favorite on the track list so far, but I still enjoyed it.
Score?
Like 7.
Strong 8 for me still.
Jesus Christ, man.
Next track is one of my favorite songs of all time. Maybe like a top 5 chorus of all time for me. So, God.
The title track, Heaven or Las Vegas.
Even thinking about the fact we're about to listen to this just is filling me with just joy.
There's the word I picked up. I picked up the word. Let's go. Oh. god, that hook. Holy shit. There's no words. No words.
Well, now you've got to try put it into words, Mick. Go on. Thoughts?
I don't think I can.
I just realized
I actually don't think I can.
I have the record somewhere. I should have it in the background, shouldn't I? For aesthetic purposes.
For aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
I'll try my best to riff, but I don't think I can. Like, that track's just a 10. Straight up. It's just a 10. Like, there's no way around it. It's a 10. Jesus. Fuck, I felt like I was in heaven. I actually felt like I was in heaven. Jesus Christ.
So that answers the question. It is heaven from Las Vegas.
That one is just brilliant because of how much the chorus just hits you every single time it comes in. Like, it does the same kind of thing instrumentally that the rest of this album does. But, like, it just hits. It just absolutely hits in every single way. Like, the way the instrumentals hit, the way the hook hits, like, Jesus. Some of the vocal quirks on the hook as well are just, send chills down my spine. They're that good. Oh my. Best track in the album so far. Without a fucking doubt. Best track in the album so far. I loved that.
I've heard this a fucking million times and it still fucking blows me away. It still gives me goosebumps. To me, it's peak music. It's the easiest fucking 10.
Literally, you saw it during our reaction. We had no fucking words for most of it.
It's one of those tracks you just have to experience. If you're talking throughout it, you're doing it wrong.
If it's just that one track where you just have to shut the fuck up and just listen
and vibe
and fucking vibe. Easily my favorite on the album so far. That was just sent me to another dimension.
We have to come back down to earth. I'm assuming you gave that a 10.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's a 10. No denying that. And that was the first half of the album. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10 tracks in this. Like, damn. I Wear Your Ring is the next track. I love that little melody right there. Yeah, pretty great. Just kind of, it's just basically, it does the same thing that some of the other tracks in the album does. You're just meant to get kind of soaked in, and it does that successfully.
I do love like that vocal melody.
Yeah, that little vocal melody is
fun.
It's really fun. It's really catchy. Gives it kind of adds to the track as well. I really like it. Like, obviously instrumentally and vocally, it's like doing more or less the same thing as some of the other tracks, but like it's still, I think, very good anyway. Like, it's just really good because it soaks you in, and mostly because of that atmosphere that it brings. And like, you know, that's what this album's all about, the fucking atmosphere. I get it.
Of the tracks we've heard so far, that's probably my second favorite tune.
Really? That doesn't strike me as a second favorite in any context.
When I think of this album, first of all, I think of Heaven or Las Vegas. Then I probably do think of the vocal melody of Cherry Colored Funk. But then the third thing that comes to mind is that vocal melody. If I'm trying to like bring something up from memory from this album, it's.
Okay.
I'm not gonna attempt to sing it.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I'm feeling like an 8 on that one, like a decent 8.
Strong 9.
Jesus, boss.
Oh, Jesus here.
Oh, be Jesus, boss.
For fuck's sake, hi.
For fuck's sake, man.
Shite crack. Absolutely shite.
Shite in the bucket. Fotze politic.
If you think about it, this album's kind of Cocteau music.
Shut up. Oh. Whew. Okay, this bit. All right.
I'll let you speak first, but I have something to say.
No, I want you to speak first.
You're the first time reactor.
No, you're the one gonna speak first.
Okay, that track is so fucking underrated, and it's again, it overtakes as my second favorite track. That vocal performance is not far behind Heaven or Las Vegas for me. The atmospheres are just incredible. It's not enough people talk about this one because I think it's an absolute highlight of the album. IMO.
It's my least favorite so far.
I'm gonna fuck.
Nah, it was enjoyable. I just don't think it stands out at all. Like, I think it gets picked up heavy by the ending, really. Like, obviously the production is great and all that, but it's still a very enjoyable song, but I don't find it as memorable as like most of the album, really.
Okay. But yeah, that's a 10 for me.
Oh, I got it. Let's go. I got a 10? Jesus, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I don't agree at all. It's like a light 7 for me. Strong 6.
Okay, I respect you.
So we got track number 8 now. Wolf in the Breast. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this one is hitting. I love how the vocals like kind of mix differently and go back and forth a little. Yeah, safe to say I was sold on that one.
I'll let you go first.
That one's like a fat 9 for me. I won't even lie.
Woo. Let's go.
Nah, like, just to actually go into something. Like, listening through that track, like, I think the way it kind of presents itself in the slow groove and just how, obviously, like, elegant that it comes across as, like, that already helps, because, like, this whole album has been trying to do that as well, trying to be that elegant thing. And while some tracks try and, like, be a bit more poppy and kind of pop out a bit more, this one just straight up, it just straight up leaves you to be entranced. Like, load of other tracks do, but this one does it, like, successfully as well. Like, Jesus, I was soaked in. You saw me. Like, eyes closed, just kind of laid back, rocking back and forth in the fucking chair. And yeah, just I like the way I like how fun like some of the vocal quirks are on this album too. Like especially in this track when everything was just kind of going back and forth, and some vocals are a bit lower in the mix and some are a bit higher. Like the way it plays with its mixing is really interesting, like you said. And generally, I just really love that track. It was very vibrant, very colorful. I was soaked into that one. I was basically sold like halfway through anyway, and I was just completely gone. And yeah, that one's like a very strong 9 for me.
Yeah. To me, it's a strong 8. It's a brilliant track, and again, this album is incredibly consistent. Wouldn't be a standout one for me, but still a great one. And I get what you're saying, Connor. I'm surprised you're liking it as much as you are. given you did give us a bit of a warning beforehand that this isn't typically the style of music you gravitate towards. But to be honest, like the other albums in the genre that you're mentioning there when it comes to neglecting vocals are still ones that I absolutely adore. But I do think that it does make it stand out because of its reliance on vocals and of having them very prominent in the mix.
Yeah, it is quite unique in that way. Like the way it kind of plays with the vocal layering, the way it just kind of it just feels like it's taking a more playful approach to vocals, whereas I suppose other like dream pop acts, the vocals aren't as playful. They just kind of sit in with the atmospheres. Like obviously the vocals sit in with this one too, but like the way it's kind of put forth and kind of a bit more playful on it kind of gives it that edge, I suppose. And turns out with some great stuff, like that track in particular that I thought was amazing, to be honest. And yeah, perfect. I suppose that's all I gotta say for it. Okay, we're on the final two tracks now: Road, River, and Rail. That was enjoyable. Kind of sits comfortably where it is in the album. Wouldn't call it one of my like standout favorites or anything like that. But it was enjoyable though. It wasn't really like it just kind of it kind of I feel like the track knows it has its own place and just kind of sits there. If you get me. Like I don't think it's super standout, but I didn't dislike it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I liked it. Not my least favorite on the album anyway. I just thought it was pretty nice instrumentally. Just that's all I really have to say. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It does kind of follow the formula of the album, which isn't a bad thing. The formula is incredible, but it isn't a standout. But I just absolutely adore the track.
Of course, you fucking do.
I have to like give it some credit because it's got the lowest track rating on Radio Music. It's got by far the least amount of streams, and I still think it's an incredible track. So I can safely say it's underrated as fuck.
The final track now, we're on track 10. Alright, last track is Frou-frou Foxes in Midsummer Fires. I do like the more dramatic flavor it's going for. Kind of just slowly building up. And I hope it pays off. That's just what I wanted. The only words I've ever picked up throughout this album so far is literally the title. That's it.
Fucking love that vocal patch so much.
Oh, it's so good.
It sounds like she's strumming the guitar with her voice.
She is the wah wah pedal.
Rogue transcended too hard. He left this dimension. Share your thoughts on the last track.
Probably like perfect way to finish the album. Simply put, perfect way to finish the album. It's just yeah. As you saw there, I transcended so hard that I fucking disappeared and ended the stream.
So funny on stream.
So
you just went and then he disappeared.
Yeah, that was just brilliant. Like, it's just a fantastic way to end the album. Similar in vein to this, just pretty much the whole entire tone and sound of the album, but just it hits because the vocal melodies, the instrumentation, the atmosphere, it's just brilliant. And it was a 9 for me overall.
Ooh, I agree. Decent to strong 9 for me overall. One of my favorite albums of the 90s. Just
I was talking about the song, not the album.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I suppose I already gave my thoughts on the song during the intermission. There's my thoughts on the album.
Okay, go ahead.
One of my favorite albums of the 90s. Just pure dream pop at its finest. Mwah. Strong 9. It's a masterpiece.
Okay, as far as my rating goes, for the moment, it's sitting at like a light 8 to a decent 8, because I think I was kind of right in the assumption that I made earlier on, where it's going to be one of those albums that I'd say it needs to be listened to a bit more, because there's definitely tracks in the album that I felt like just kind of stayed in its own lane a bit too much, didn't really stand out, didn't really vary itself as much. But I feel like if I went back to it, I'd appreciate it a lot more. But even then, like the album by itself, the stuff that I just reacted to, my thoughts on it, like there was moments of absolute brilliance and pure bliss on it in every way imaginable. And there's just a lot to love about it. The atmosphere is incredible. The instrumentation, the way it's mixed and the way it blends in together is incredible. The way the vocals work within the songs are just so playful as well. And like at its best, you are just in a stage of euphoria and you feel like you are transcending. And yeah, like I said, that's a light to decent 8 from me.
And we got an 8 off her as well. So I'm happy enough. It's a strong, decent to strong 9 from me.